Today I will wait. What? Hey guys, today I will be reading because of Winn-Dixie. And if you can read this is super personal. Actually, not that personal, but I'm just gonna read it to you anyways. Can read or don't need to read because I don't know why I wrote do not read. I can't read it, dummy. It's OKO. KO. Jeez, I'm stupid. Mr. Verley is a teacher of mine. I'm sorry, I just hit my camera. It's actually not a camera. It's a phone and my mom's phone. Already read it and also watched the movie. Second grade, nope. I think you already saw that. Mercy Watson author. So I'm going to use that as a bookmark. I actually have another bookmark, which is in this giant stash. No, not in that stash. This smaller stash, this is a smelly bookmark where it's a grape smell. You smell it. You smell it. Oh my goodness, it actually smells like a real grape. But I already wasted like a whole minute just reading the intro and all that stuff. So let's get to Kitty Camillo. Mercy Watson, author 2. Because of Winn-Dixie. And this is actually a brand new book where I bought, and actually it's been about 1.5 years since I've actually bought this, and I still haven't read it because my teacher already read it to me. Wow, so it's been I actually read this book, but my teacher read it, and I actually didn't read it by myself. But there's a different book. There's a different book called Frindle, and then that was for free because at the end of second grade, Mr. Verley spread out a whole ton of books where they're all free. I guess my teacher already bought a ton of them. There were about 50 or something, and then there were a ton of leftovers, I guess, for next year's second grade or something. But those books were already all read by my teacher, I think, or some were and some weren't. I don't care, but this wasn't the one that I got for free. I bought it by my own money, and then Frindle was the other one where I actually got from Mr. Verley, and this is super not old. It is kind of old, but I didn't even read it, and I'm super sad for actually opening it. I didn't even want to even make a video on this, but anyways. Oh, thank you, Mother. Chapter 1. My name is and also we're reading only one chapters at a time, so that'll be 12 pages, please, I think. Chapter 1. My name is Indian. Oh, geez, focus, stupid camera. Chapter 1. My name is India. Okay, I'm sorry. I nearly said Indiana Jones. If you don't know who Indiana Jones is, just go into YouTube and then search Indiana Jones, and then there'll be a few movies and Legos and stuff like that. My name is India Opal Bolo. Oh my goodness, it's super hard to say that name. It's just no ordinary name for me. I don't know, but people usually were struggling for saying my name. And I also and believe it or not, but I struggled on my name either. And there are some Chinese people who called me Eloy. I just told them it's Elroy. Even I can't say it. And then they're like, Eloy. My name is Indiana Opal Buloni. And last summer, my daddy, the preacher, sent me to the store for a box of macaroni and cheese. Nom nom nom. Nom nom nom. Some white rice and 2 tomatoes, and I came back with a dog. This is what happened. I walked into the produce section of Winn-Dixie grocery store to pick out my 2 tomatoes, and I almost bumped right into the store manager. He was standing there all red-faced, screaming and waving his arms around. Who let the dogs out? JK. Who let the... I was about to say who let the dogs out again. Who let a dog in here? He kept on shouting. Who let a dirty dog in here? At first, I didn't see a dog. There was just a lot of vegetables rolling around on the floor, tomatoes and onions and green peppers. And there was what seemed like a whole army of Winn-Dixie employees running around and waving their arms just the same way the store manager was waving his. But BTW, Winn-Dixie is actually the dog, and Winn-Dixie is also a store, and Indiana Jones, JK, India Bologna, I think, said that it was her dog, which it wasn't, and she was thinking of a name, but she couldn't find of a name, so she just looked at something, and then it was the store thingamajig, and then she called the dog Winn-Dixie. That's why it's because of Winn-Dixie. I actually don't know why it's called because of Winn-Dixie, but I know that the Winn-Dixie is a store and a dog. And then a dog came running around the corner. He was a big dog and ugly, and he looked like he was having a real good time. His tongue was hanging out and he was wagging his tail. He skidded to a stop and smiled right at me. I never before in my life seen a dog smile, but that is what he did. He pulled back his lips and showed me all his teeth. Then he wagged his tail so hard that he knocked some oranges off a display, and then went rolling everywhere, mixing in with the tomatoes and onions and green peppers. The manager screamed, "Somebody grab that dog!" The dog went running over to the manager, wagging his tail and smiling. He stood on his hind legs. You could tell that he wanted to do was get face to face with the manager and thank him for the good time he was having in the produce department. But somehow he ended up knocking the manager over. The manager must have been having a bad day because lying there on the floor right in front of everybody, he started to cry. The dog leaned over him real concerned and licked his face. "Please," said the manager, "somebody call the pound." POUND. "Wait a minute," I hollered. "That's my dog. Don't call the pound." All the Winn-Dixie employees turned around and looked at me. And I knew I had done something big and maybe stupid too, but I couldn't help it. I couldn't let that dog go to the pound. "Here, boy," I said. The dog stopped licking the manager's face and put his ears up in the air and looked at me, like he was trying to remember where he knew me from. "Here, boy," I said again, and then I figured that the dog was probably just like everybody else in the world, that he would want to get called by a name. Only I didn't know what his name was. So I just said the first thing that came into my head. I said, "Here, Winn-Dixie," and the dog came trotting over to me just like he had been doing in his whole life. The manager sat up and gave me a hard stare, like maybe he was making fun of him. "It's his name." Like maybe I was making fun of him. "It's his name," I said, honest. The manager said, "Don't you know not to bring a dog into the grocery store?" "Yes, sir," I told him. "He got in by mistake. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Come on, Winn-Dixie, I said to the dog. Sorry for the bad camera and all that stuff. Now, is there a way to... Oh, geez, that's super... Yeah, I think that... Do you like this or this better? Yeah, it kind of shows the carpet. I want to be more clean, so... Yeah, I think this would be better. Come on, Winn-Dixie. I think this is more dizzy, though. I started walking and he followed along behind me as I went out of the produce department and down the cereal aisle and past all the cashiers and out the door. Once we were there safe outside, I checked him over real careful and he didn't look that good. He was big but skinny. You could see his ribs and there were bald patches all over him. Places where he didn't have any fur at all. Mostly he looked like a big piece of old brown carpet that had been left out of in the rain. You're a mess, I told him. I bet you don't belong to anybody. He smiled at me. He did that thing again where he pulled back his lips and showed me all his teeth. He smiled so big that it made him sneeze. It was like he was saying, I know I'm a mess. Isn't it funny? It's hard not to immediately fall in love with a dog who has a good sense of humor. Come on, I told him. Let's see what the preacher has to say about you. And the two of us, me and Winn-Dixie, started walking home. If you're wondering what a preacher is, at least I think I know what a preacher is. So, if I saw in a few chapters later, Dad was a preacher, and a preacher is like a church person, I think. I'm not quite sure. Like a church person, like do you know the people who comes out in front? Here, let's say Leon. Let's say this Leon from Brawl Stars is a preacher. And then these two Leons are just like the audience people who come to the church. And this Tara is also another one. Nita, and then Robo Dynamite, and then Daryl, and then Shark Brock, I think. And then he's just announcing some stuff, and then Taro is also doing some stuff. Like, not really announcing, they're like saying stuff. I don't know how to explain. Like, they're like doing all the church stuff and stuff, I think. And then these people are following along, or they're just sitting there listening or saying it in their minds. I used to go to church, but I don't go to church any longer because I'm in America, not in Korea, and I went to church when I was in Korea. And I mostly just really don't go to church because I'm not in Korea any longer, and I don't know where other churches are. BTW, I have 21 brawlers out of 35, and this is 2020, so in 2021 or 2022, 2023, in those places, there could be like 100 brawlers or 36 or more brawlers. But so far, I have 21. I need 14 more brawlers. If you don't have any brawlers, it's alright because you can get Barley for free and get Wizard Barley skin if you just connect to Supercell ID. If you just connect into the Supercell ID, and then boom, you automatically just get Wizard Barley and then Wizard Barley for free. Legit. But also there's a more bigger chance where you get more brawlers because as I started Brawl Stars for the very first time. I played a few times and then got a few boxes. And then the more boxes I got, the more brawlers I got because I had less brawlers and there were like 25 or something like that much brawlers. And then I needed like a ton more flippin' brawlers. So yeah, like that and then that, and I got every single rare and super rare brawlers, and then I got my very first epic, which is Frank, and then I got Pam, and then I got who is it? Max, which is a super quick brawler, who's a girl, BTW. And then I got Mortis, which is one of the very old brawlers. And yeah, and then I also got Bo. Here's my calendar. $5. Got an epic Pam / Pam Brawl Stars in Brawl Stars. Got Bo in Brawl. Seriously? What are you doing tomorrow? Jeez. Sorry, Liam. I think you might know Liam. He's like a friend from Shaman. And then he just texted me from Sirius. What are you doing tomorrow? And it's not how. Like, what time is it right now? What? Like, what time is it right now in America? It's like 6:30. What? Sorry. Got $5 for chores. Got Bo in Brawl Stars. Got a Mythic / Max Brawler in Brawl Stars. Sorry. Got a Mythic / Mortis in Brawl Stars. It's been a 1-month break. Gee, shut up already. Got Tick in Brawl Stars. So, I also kind of need to text right now with some other guys and friends and all that stuff. So I'll go to the master bedroom and I'm just gonna sit and do whatever. So bye guys, because people are just spamming right now. Oh, hell no.